The 2017 Volkswagen Touareg. It might have sort of a strange name, but it is still a very familiar name within the Volkswagen lineup. However, I think its time is about to end because of the all-new three-row crossover Volkswagen Atlas. I'm Jay, and welcome to this latest episode of Car Buzz Unboxing Reviews. And yes, what I have for you today is probably one of my favorite premium SUVs on the market, the Volkswagen Touareg. So we're going to go into more details about that right now. But first, I want to thank DGDG.com for letting me come on down and film this for you today. So just a little brief history about the Volkswagen Touareg. It was first launched in 2002, which kind of seems like an eternity ago, and well, it kind of is. The second generation model debuted, believe it or not, in 2010. So yeah, that first generation model was on sale for quite some time, and the last time the Touareg was given a mild refresh was in 2015. So what you see here has essentially not changed for the past couple of years. Now, this was developed on the same platform that was shared with the first generation Porsche Cayenne. Those two are actually sort of sister ships in a way, but the Touareg obviously cost quite a bit less. It didn't have all that Porsche luxury, but the Touareg is still proven to be a very premium vehicle, as you're going to see throughout this review. But before I go any further, let's start up the engine here and let you listen to that, and I'll tell you more about that in a moment. All right, so that was the only engine available currently in the Touareg. It's a 3.6-liter naturally aspirated V6 with 280 horsepower and 266 pound-feet of torque. Power goes to all four wheels through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now, all-wheel drive is standard on all trims, including this one, which is the Wolfsburg Edition. There are 3 trims available right now. You have the base model, which is actually called the Sport with Technology, the middle-level Wolfsburg, what you see here, and then the top trim, Executive. Now, there used to be diesel engine options, but thanks to that whole, you might have heard about it, that Dieselgate scandal, there are no longer diesel engines available on the Touareg. You only have that 3.6-liter V6, which I think is fine, but I'll tell you more about that very shortly. And just taking a look at this exterior design, this paint, they call it deep black pearl. You got these 20-inch alloy wheels, by xenon automatic headlights with adaptive lighting, LED daytime running lights with LED taillights, front fog lights, a trailer hitch, and a panoramic sunroof. Now, I just got to come out and say it. I really, really like this exterior design. I think its proportions are perfect. I love this, the really short front overhang, the 20-inch wheels, I believe 19-inch wheels, come standard on the base Sport and Technology trim, but I think the 20-inch wheels just look spectacular on this. The whole design it looks very premium, and I think it's aged beautifully. Remember, this second generation Touareg came out in 2010, so yeah, this is a 7-year-old design, and it still looks great. I think the lines are just very crisp, maybe a little conservative, but I think Volkswagen made the right call when designing this, is that they didn't go overboard. That some SUVs, specifically those from maybe Hyundai, kind of like to do now, where I don't think their designs are going to age particularly well, but this is proof that if you kind of take it easy with the pen, you're going to benefit in the years ahead, and you can keep selling a vehicle without having to do extensive updates throughout its lifetime. The Touareg is proof of that. I love those really sporty-looking dual exhaust there. And again, the Touareg, it does have not only a premium, but also a very sporty feel to it. For an example, the Touareg has participated in several motorsporting events, such as Pikes Peak, the Baja 500 and 1000, and even the Dakar Rally, which it won in 2009. So yeah, this thing really has motorsport pedigree behind it too. Now, in terms of actual off-roading, you do have some decent ground clearance here, and the 20-inch wheels certainly do help. Obviously, all-wheel drive is a huge benefactor to going off-road. But if you're doing really, really serious off-roading, there might be some better choices out there they're going to be a bit more expensive sometimes. I mean, if you really want to spend big money, there's always the Toyota Land Cruiser. I am also thinking specifically the Toyota 4Runner. Now, that is a true body-on-frame SUV. All right, so let's get back to this engine here. Like I said, this is the only engine available right now, 3.6-liter naturally aspirated V6, 280 horsepower. Performance, 0 to 60 miles per hour in 7.8 seconds. Top speed is capped off at around 130 miles per hour. Now, fuel economy, 17 miles per gallon in the city, 23 on the highway, and a combined 19. Total weight is just under 5,000 pounds. But let's go back to that 0 to 60 time for a second, 7.8 seconds. That's actually pretty slow. For an example, the Acura MDX and the Lincoln MKX do that 0 to 60 sprint in 6 seconds. The Jeep Grand Cherokee, 7.1 seconds. And even the Nissan Murano, which is based off of the same platform as the Nissan Maxima, does that 0 to 60 time in 7.3 seconds. So yes, that 3.6-liter V6, 280 horsepower, 266 pound-feet of torque, it's just not very fast, and that's kind of a shame because I think the Touareg deserves a better engine. But let's take a look at this interior here. As you can see, it's this two-tone and gray-black color combination, which I really like. I think it matches the deep black pearl exterior perfectly. It's got a lot of luxury things here. Leather seats, heated and ventilated front seats with lumbar support. Dual-zone automatic climate control. A cooled glove compartment, which I really, really like. The second row here. Now, there's only 2 rows in the Touareg. There is no third row. If you want a Volkswagen SUV crossover with a third row, no problem. The brand new Atlas is about to go on sale. I saw that at Detroit last January. It's very impressive. In fact, even the new Tiguan has an optional third row as well, but not the Touareg. And I really, really like this dash design. Now, it's aged. Let's face it. It doesn't look brand new, but I really liked all this, brushed aluminum trim here. It's just this real premium feel. And I think that's one of the reasons why people like to buy Volkswagens. If you remember, not the current, but the previous generation Passat, it was just so premium. But then when they started building those Passat sedans in the U.S. exclusively for the U.S. market, sometimes some people or those loyal Volkswagen buyers felt they kind of cheapened it. But that's not the case here with the Touareg. Now, some technology features that you get here is an 8-speaker sound system, remote power tailgate with a hands-free easy open feature, rear view camera, Bluetooth, Sirius XM radio, and a multi-function display with trip computer. So yeah, kind of a conservative design, but again, like the exterior, it's aged quite nicely. Now, let's talk a little bit of safety here. A lot of standard safety bits, you had the front and side airbags for front passenger seats, side curtain head impact airbags, ABS brakes, electronic stability control, intelligent crash response system, tire pressure monitoring system, adaptive cruise control, forward collision warning, and autonomous braking, as well as lane departure warning, lane change assist, and park distance control. All of those things are pretty standard on most premium and not even so premium crossover SUVs today. You're starting to see these package of advanced safety features being offered for non-luxury vehicles as well, and I think that trend is just going to continue here. But taking a look at this infotainment system here, it's just okay. The screen, I think it's a little small, especially considering the competition now. For the most part, it was fairly intuitive, but you can definitely see the Touareg's age even in its technology here. There's only so much Volkswagen can do to update a vehicle that dates back to 2010. In fact, it was probably finalized. Its finalized design was just before that. So it's a 7-year-old vehicle. There's not much more that can be done here. But on the other hand, the Touareg is maybe a good buy for some because they have just done all of the improvements possible and have fine-tuned the Touareg throughout, probably to the most that it's capable of being fine-tuned. So consider that if you're looking to buy this. There's the dual-zone automatic climate control, really nice to have. However, it does not have tri-zone. not even quad zone, but let alone tri-zone automatic climate control. And considering that this is not a cheap vehicle, it should have at least tri-zone for the rear seat passengers, but there's not much you can do about that. So how does it drive? Well, I will say this. There is an ideal driving position here for the driver. It's very comfortable. You can see over the hood. You don't feel like you're driving a really big rig here. Remember, this thing has that motorsport pedigree, so that's something to consider as well if you want to have a family size crossover SUV that's also fun to drive. That's the Touareg. And also, yeah, it does have some off-road capability. It is a capable off-roader to an extent. And also what's nice is that this one in particular has a 7,716 pound towing capacity, perfect for taking your boat up to the lake during the weekends, depending on the size of your boat. There it is. Panoramic sunroof. I'm always a big fan of these things, especially in crossovers. I think it really brightens up the interior very nicely. There's that 8-speed automatic. This is the sole transmission offering, and it's just fine. I think an 8-speed for a vehicle of this size is just fine. Also, the grip on the steering wheel. Again, it's really nice. All of the materials inside, they're soft touch plastics. Again, it's that Volkswagen premiumness that a lot of buyers are willing to spend more for to get, and the Touareg does not disappoint in that category. Speaking of buying, let's talk pricing here. So the base price for that, what they call the base model, the Sport and Technology trim, is $50,405. The Wolfsburg edition that you see here, it begins at $52,795, and with a few extra features and the $910 destination fee, grand total for the Touareg you're looking at right here is $54,710. The top trim executive only begins at $61,105, so I would say a fully loaded Touareg is going to cost you around $65,000, and man, for that price, you really might as well consider bumping up to the Porsche Cayenne. So what's some of the competition? Well, there's the Jeep Grand Cherokee, the Dodge Durango, the Ford Edge, Nissan Murano, Kia Sorento, Hyundai Santa Fe, and like I want to keep stressing here, there's also the brand new Volkswagen Atlas, that 3-row crossover. It is built in the U.S. specifically for Americans. Americans love crossovers, and they demand 3-row crossovers. So Volkswagen built that Atlas with Americans in mind, and I think because of the Atlas's arrival, it is going to force Volkswagen to essentially kill the Touareg in the pretty near future. Why? Well, there's just no reason for it. And another factor is that Volkswagen Atlas, it's going to start at a much cheaper base price, right around $30,000. That's, I mean, for a lot of people, that's a no-brainer. They're not going to spend at least $50,000 for this Touareg when there's a bigger, newer Volkswagen crossover for at least $20,000 less as a base price. It's just common sense. And as you can see, second row space here for passengers. Yeah, it's fairly spacious. Again, you know, if you've been in a Touareg or a Porsche Cayenne, you'll know it's not the most spacious vehicle, but it is more fun to drive. It's a capable off-roader, so that's the trade-off right there. You have a decent amount of cargo storage space. Obviously, the second row seats fold flat, so that's always beneficial here. But again, you're getting newer vehicles out there like the Hyundai Santa Fe that offer even more cargo space for significantly less money. For an example, the Hyundai Santa Fe tops off at fully loaded just about $40,000, and that still undercuts this thing by $10,000. So it's kind of hard to justify the expensive price of the Touareg when there's so many other very good crossovers on the market today. All right, so what do I like here? Well, first off, it's very well designed inside out. The build quality is excellent. The materials are solid. It's overall, the design is aged well considering it, you know, again, it goes back to 2010. I really like its 7,700 pound towing capacity, which is actually top of its class among mid-size SUVs. Now, what don't I like? Again, that V6 engine, it's a good engine. It's just simply not powerful enough for a vehicle that weighs almost 5,000 pounds. Therefore, it makes a Touareg pretty slow compared to the competition. And the fuel economy, the 17 miles per gallon in the city, 23 in the highway, combined 19, is just really not that impressive anymore, considering all the new competition. I don't know the figures offhand, but I'm sure the new VW Atlas will have even better fuel economy than this. Another thing I really didn't like, and I'm sure you noticed, is that dated touchscreen. You have Ford's latest infotainment system, Sync 3. You have FCA's, Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, Uconnect. Both of those are worlds better. Comparing German brands, I even like iDrive better than the infotainment system or BMW's iDrive rather than the infotainment system that you see in the Touareg here. But my biggest complaint here, as much as I like the Touareg, it's just not worth the price. Base price of $50,000. The one you see here is almost $55,000. It's just an aged vehicle that I think is past its prime. But I'm out of time for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any more questions for me, just leave them in the comment section below.